Well, guys, you did it. Look at what you have done. I hope you are very proud of yourselves. You've made me put a mask and a clothespin on my microphone so I can talk to everyone about how much everyone's pissing me off. So some news came out today about the new 2021 NASCAR Cup Series schedule. And there's a couple things I like, and there's a couple things in there that really scare me. First, I'll get the things that I like out of the way. We added a date for Atlanta, and we added a date for Darlington. Those are two amazing tracks. They should have always had two dates. I don't know why the hell they didn't. I mean, I probably know, but I forgot. But now I know that they have two dates again, and that's perfect, because they're great tracks. And we got rid of Kentucky! Yay! There was never a single good race at that track. We also got rid of Chicagoland, which kind of blows because I think there were some good ones there. But on the whole, like, yay, Kentucky's gone. Awesome. And we've got some more road courses. I'm kind of split on that, especially because apparently we're making the Brickyard a road course. And it's not like the racing at the Oval's been great, but we didn't go there for great racing because the Indy Oval kind of sucks as a track, actually. There have been a couple good races there in the stock cars, but on the whole, we don't go there expecting good racing. We go there because it's the Brickyard and because of the historical significance and trying to get NASCAR into the history of a track like that. That's why we went there in the first place. But like road course racing in stock cars, it can be good, it can be bad, but on the most part, I think it's a fine change. I'm not crazy about it, but I'm not about to burn down a house about it. But I am ready to burn down a house about doing a goddamn dirt race. Okay, so you know how like there's a bunch of different racing series and how it's okay if you like more than one? Like I'm kind of weird because I only really follow NASCAR and I know that there's other good racing series and I've seen other series that have good races and I've enjoyed them. But I only really follow NASCAR. But I know that most people actually follow multiple motorsports, and that's fine. All I ask is that you keep your goddamn motorsport away from my goddamn motorsport, because I like mine for what it offers, just like you like yours for what they offer. And what NASCAR offers is heavy stock cars, preferably with powerful engines. I guess we fucked that up in recent years, but preferably with powerful engines, racing on paved tracks at very high speeds. That is the core of NASCAR's identity. It didn't start that way, but by the time it became this big, like, international hit with fans all around the world, that's what it was, and that's when NASCAR is at its best. So the decision to pour a bunch of dirt on top of one of the, if not the greatest tracks we go to in Bristol, that seems kind of fucking stupid. You see, Bristol gets two races a year, and the first one always kind of blows because it's in the rainy season and it keeps raining, so in order to fix that, they have not changed when the race is going to happen, but instead they have dirt on the track. And it's really a disappointment because Bristol is routinely, no matter what package they bring, one of the best races of the year. And we're lucky to get two of those every year, even if one of them happens to be very wet. And instead, we're saying, no, you don't get to do two of those. You get to do one of those, and the other one's going to be a crazy gimmick that makes it seem like a completely different series of racing altogether. Like, I just don't get it. If you like NASCAR and you want to make good changes for NASCAR, make changes that make sense for NASCAR. It is a series that runs on paved tracks. That's the identity of the sport. That's the kind of sport it was whenever it became this massive hit. And that's what people go to NASCAR to see. They go to NASCAR to see that kind of racing. If they want to see dirt racing, they'll fucking find a way. And the reason I'm really worked up about it isn't just that one of our best races of the year is going to be a complete question mark and we have no clue what the hell we're going to see at the dirt race at Bristol next year, but it's how we even got to this point in the first place. And my theory is that we have an organization in NASCAR that really has struggled for a long time trying to figure out what the fans want, even though it's very simple. I don't know where the hell they get their information from, but from the changes they make, I'm getting the impression that they go on to social media sites where there's a lot of debate and discussion, and they just kind of listen to everything, not correctly parsing what's good for NASCAR versus what would be good for another hypothetical kind of series. Like on these social media sites where people are actually talking about NASCAR, you got people from all different series kind of putting in their 2 cents, like, oh, well, I watch this kind of racing and they've got a choose cone, so that's pretty cool. NASCAR should do that. And then NASCAR's like, okay, we'll do that. And then this other guy is like, oh, I watch baseball and the hockey one and the pig. They put a pig skin. Don't ask, but they throw it. They have a weird playoff thing, and the NASCAR's like, we will do weird playoff thing. Yes. How about eliminations? Yes. And then apparently you have a guy that's like, hey, I like dirt racing. Can you just be dirt racing now? And the NASCAR says, okay, I will be dirt racing now. It's like every time NASCAR hears an idea that would appeal to a very vague, very general audience, they don't really care what it'll do to the identity of the sport. They just go like, oh man, this guy said he wants it. There's probably a bunch of this guy. We should put massive suspension on the cars so that they ride high up in the air and they drive over other cars, because people do watch and like that. Like, goddamn, like, I like NASCAR and I like what it is at its core. And I'm just pissed off that we have to change it to be this completely different motorsport that's never existed before and people don't particularly enjoy because it just borrows from too much other shit and it makes this weird, unbalanced, very hard to watch product. I mean, shit, if you ask me, the only thing NASCAR really has to change in order to get back to being a respectable, legitimate sport, like, I don't like the chase grid. I fucking hate the chase grid. But you could keep that and have NASCAR still be watchable as long as the cars can be near each other without dirty air keeping them from doing anything. That is all NASCAR has been for the last few years, and it is the most boring shit imaginable. It has made the joke about NASCAR just being left turns for 3 hours the fucking reality. And it is impossible to watch. I actually fell asleep for an hour during the last race at Las Vegas because they fucking couldn't do anything. Like, what's incredible to me is whenever you watch from, like, the golden era of NASCAR, if you watch even a track that's a 1.5 miler, you can see people running like really, really close to each other, and you kind of forget over time just what that was like, because we see close racing nowadays, and we're like, ooh, close racing, and it's like every once in a while, but we kind of forget that it was very normal for a long time to have people racing inches, and I mean inches, off of each other at those fast 1.5 mile tracks and pretty much anywhere on the circuit, because dirty air was such a small factor in the racing that you could literally ride right up on someone's bumper for laps on end and still like set up a perfect clean pass and have a really good side-by-side battle. It was ridiculous looking at how close those cars could stay to each other. And now cars can only do that maybe on like the restart for a couple laps, but it's clear that that shit doesn't last very long because all it takes is a couple people running side by side. Dirty air ruins everyone, and then everyone's spaced out awful. Just go back and watch. I would say late 90s, early 2000s, maybe even like late 2000s, and just kind of pay attention to how hard the cars are to drive, but also simultaneously how close the drivers are able to stay to each other, even though the cars are hard to drive. That is when NASCAR is at its best. These cars are very difficult to handle, and the drivers are so good that they can stay right next to each other on their ass, and there is no problem. It's just expected. I kind of got off rambling there, but you get what I'm trying to say. NASCAR is good. Change the cars to how they should be, and that'll fix everything. You could have the dumbest point system in the world, which we do, and as long as the cars can still race very well side by side, we'll be fine. I just want to see good quality racing with drivers that are really good, with cars that aren't easy to handle. We don't need a dirt race. We don't need to blow the fuck out of Auto Club and eliminate a perfectly good track just to make another short track, even though there's so many of those already in America, and you might as well just add a bunch of seating and better facilities to one of those. It's about the same fucking price as obliterating a perfectly good racetrack to make a short track out of it. Oh, I don't know what came over me. It was a very primal rage. I kind of lost my train of thought. I literally threw up in my mouth. Shit. Tastes like peanut butter. Just fucking, just stop overreacting. We don't gotta reinvent the wheel. We don't gotta make NASCAR this weird monster of a thing that's a hybrid of all these other motorsports with like elements of mainstream stick and ball sports thrown in. Like, just let NASCAR be NASCAR, fix the cars, everything else will be fine. Also, I don't know if I explained, I have a mask on this because I need something for when I at the mic, and this clothespin keeps me from being blinded by the light. Revved up like a douche in the middle of the night. Yeah, sorry guys, I don't really know how to end videos.